You awaken to a low, earthy rumble, the slow boil of a compost volcano you've never seen. Your entire world is darkness, damp heat, and the muffled shoveling of your father's claws as he turns the soil that entombs you. He is a bird, but tonight he's also a furnace engineer, a gardener, and a single-feathered thermostat. One careless scoop of leaf litter will roast you alive. One premature excavation will chill the egg and freeze your heartbeat. He tastes the heat with his beak, makes a minute adjustment, then stomps away to chase a monitor lizard eyeing the mound like a buffet. No lullabies here, just mulch, menace, and mathematics. Inside the egg, your yolk is gigantic, nearly 2/3 of the contents, because no parent will ever feed you once you hatch. All nutrients, all stamina for your first flight must be preloaded. Around you, 80 siblings pulse in the half-light of decay. You feel them kick. You also feel the mound shift as dawn's sun warms the top layer. Your father scuttles back, tosses sand, vents steam. The inside temperature barely wobbles, yet he reacts as though a forest fire is licking at the shell. Weeks crawl by. Your heartbeat accelerates. Your bill pierces the air sac. Lungs gulp their first breath of mushroom-scented darkness. Then work begins. You hammer with feet and head, claw tiny stair steps upward. Every strike loosens compost that collapses behind you, sealing the tunnel. Going back is impossible. The future is only up. Hours later, your head butts a crust of sun-baked sand. One last heave, daylight explodes. You burst onto leaf litter like a toy ejected from its box, dust-coated but perfectly feathered, wings already full-sized. Instinct barks, fly. You flap once, lift half a meter, crash. A second attempt carries you across a log. 14 hours after hatching, you track a dragonfly in midair. Somewhere beneath your feet, siblings are still tunneling. You will never meet them. Parenthood for a megapode is a one-way door. The mound is both nursery and eviction notice. Your first night is a crash course in terror. A sand-goanna tongue flicks your tail feathers. You vault to a low branch. Above, a ghostly owl glares. Every leaf conceals a throat. Only the sky feels safe. So you practice vertical ascents over and over until wing beats drown your heartbeat. By dawn, you have a rule. If it slithers or stalks, launch upward before thinking. Predation thins the graduating class quickly. Out of 80 eggs, maybe 12 chicks beat the lizards. Half of those succumb to feral cats or hawks. Yet megapodes gamble on quantity. Your father begins rebuilding the mound before all chicks have even surfaced, mixing fresh humus, measuring again with his bill. Weeks later, you glide over an unexpected sight. Rectangles of green that smell of fertilizers and barbecue smoke. Urban fringe. The distant coast shimmered like temptation, but the Australian brush turkey in you feels magnetized to manicured lawns. City gardens offer endless mulch and zero dingoes. You spy another juvenile tugging earthworms from a raised veggie bed, while a human waves a garden hose in surrender. Suburbs, it turns out, are 5-star resorts for mound builders. Not long ago, brush turkeys teetered on the edge of oblivion, shot for table meat until the 1930s left them scarce. Today, they colonize Sydney rooftops, raid recycling bins, and trigger 1,000 council complaints a year. One old-timer remembers never seeing a single turkey as a child. Now he counts a dozen on his street before breakfast. The comeback story is written in compost. Humans create the heat sources turkeys crave, then fence out the predators that once balanced the ledger. Across the continent, your cousin the malleefowl prefers harsher math. In desert scrub, where summer sizzles at 45 degrees, males construct meter-high mounds of red sand, carefully layering them over a compost core that might be only damp leaves and termite frass. He monitors temperature differentials narrower than the margin on a digital thermostat. No fancy electronics, just a beak plunged daily into the mound like a probe. Researchers once inserted data loggers and found internal temps fluctuate less than 1 degree over a fortnight, a living climate control system run by a single obsessive bird. Yet perfection cracks when climate does. After 2 years of drought, one malleefowl dug 8 meters to find moisture for his compost core, hauling each bill load of sand a beak at a time. A drone filmed the resulting crater, a spiral pit so vast the bird vanished like a shadow at its floor. Still, only 3 eggs hatched. The rest cooked when a sudden storm spiked humidity and triggered microbial fireworks that overheated the nest. Even genius engineering can't outpace the weather. Fly 1,000 kilometers north to Sulawesi, and mound building mutates into a high-risk casino. Here lives the Maleo, a black and pink megapode that shuns compost for literal fire. Pairs trek dawn trails to volcanic beaches, bury cannonball-sized eggs in piping hot sand, tap their bills to memorize landmarks, then vanish into rainforest, never to return. 2 months later, a chick erupts from the sand like a bottled genie, baked, not brooded, and ready to take wing over fumaroles before its down cools. Local legends claim Maleo chicks can cross rivers of steam without singing a feather. Scientists confirm they routinely clear treetop height minutes after digging free. But human appetite stalks even these lava beaches. Maleo eggs, rich enough to feed a family of 4, fetch high prices at roadside stalls. Conservation patrols now guard nesting grounds, swapping harvested eggs with wooden decoys to fool poachers. An Indonesian ranger tells of finding 40 stolen eggs in a single cooler, enough potential birds to seed an entire valley. Some were still warm. He buried them at an emergency hatchery that very night, uncertain whether heat shock had already doomed them. Meanwhile, back in suburbia, you've reached adulthood and adopted your own patch of garden chaos. Neighbors curse as you remodel mulch piles into a 3-meter mound, tossing petunias like confetti. In your mind, each leaf is a thermal unit. In theirs, it's the shredded remains of monthly yard work. One homeowner traps you under a laundry basket, releases you at dawn a suburb away, and arrives home to find you beating him back. Locals resort to chicken wire moats and motion sensor sprinklers, the so-called turkey wars. But any gap wider than your frame is an invitation. Breeding season ignites. You carve a crater at the mound's summit, wait for a hen to inspect. She circles, shuffles the sand, decides the temperature is perfect, deposits a cream-colored egg. She may never return. You seal the treasure, adjust insulation, and repeat the ritual every morning for weeks. A single mound can host 150 eggs, some yours, many from rival males who sneak their hens onto your real estate at night. It doesn't matter. Fatherhood here is about real estate management, not DNA tests. Each dawn you test the interior with your bill. Too hot? Scratch open vents. Too cold? Add a bucket of new mulch ferreted from garden beds. One scientist once buried a digital probe beside a brush turkey's egg and recorded you shaving the temperature from 36 degrees Celsius down to 34 degrees Celsius over 5 meticulous minutes, then walking off like nothing extraordinary had happened. Yet even master masons fear rising mercury. Climate models warn that summer heat waves will push mound temps past the lethal threshold more days each decade. Some megapodes respond by relocating mounds under thicker canopy or digging deeper into shade-cooled soils. Others shift egg-laying earlier, hoping chicks hatch before the oven peaks. Whether instinct can sprint faster than climate remains the billion-leaf question. Mid-season, disaster strikes. A feral pig crashes the mound at midnight, tilts your thermal masterpiece into ruin, gulping half-developed eggs like rubbery marshmallows. You return at dawn to carnage, yolk-stained sand, footprints the size of dinner plates. Rage isn't useful, rebuilding is. You start again, hauling mulch because biology wrote only one command in your brain: maintain the mound or the bloodline evaporates. Years spin. You survive fox raids, summer cyclones, and a misguided council attempt to fence every mound within city limits. Citizens revolted, the fences came down. You've worn your beak into a chisel and shaved your claws blunt probing compost. In the end, success is measured in upward punching chicks. Each one that clears the mound roof propels your genome another heartbeat into the century. One dawn, you watch a chick erupt, shake off sand, and helicopter straight into a jacaranda blossom trail. The purple petals swirl around it like a magician's reveal. You've never met this fledgling before, yet you'll spend the next few months sanding the mound edges, ensuring its younger cousins against storm spikes. The moment it flies out of sight, you're back to work, because the mound gurgles, the microbes feast, and the thermostat never sleeps. Eventually, age dulls reflexes. A goanna snags your tail feathers, you're too slow to counter. The mound you tended shrinks under fresh leaves. Another male will claim it next season, add his own scent, shift its shape until even you wouldn't recognize your life's project. That's fine. In the compost clock of megapodes, ownership is temporary, but heat management is eternal. You retreat to fringes of scrub, lungs laboring, feathers sun-bleached. One last sunrise warms your bones. Somewhere beneath your old mound, a pulse quickens, a chick claws upward, and the cycle restarts without needing permission. Buried babies, lava beach gamblers, suburban demolition artists, megapodes trust dirt, decay, and thermodynamics more than flesh and feather. One scoop of mulch too many, and a dynasty steams to death. One stolen egg, and a valley goes silent. Their survival rides on compost math we still barely understand.